Dad only has a motorbike for transportation. So it's very hard for him to bring her here because Irma has no control of her body.
The father wants to bring the kid to school, and Irma deserves to go to school. And so it's not ideal that Irma has to travel on the back of a motorcycle, but in reality, it's more important that she get an education, and we're gonna fight to try to make sure that that happens for her.
When his sister comes, they'll bring the girl like in between the motorbike, like they have the dad, the girl, and then the auntie in the back. So that's how they bring her.
Fundal gives education to deafblind and multiple disabled children. And this education has to be very specific because it requires other communication systems that doesn't need to be seen or heard in order to use it.
The more you do it, the more resourceful you get.
I like to do it. I love to do it. I think everyone loves to build something and to see the result.
It's pretty incredible how little it takes to start something like adaptive design in terms of raw materials.
You just need cardboard and white glue, pretty much.
The things that are already in the market, the furniture and other stuff, not always meet the needs of our students. So even though you have money or the donations to buy stuff, it would never be as good as to create it, especially for a student.
So this is a project that's going to be brought to a little girl's house, and she needs basically a place to relax and recline. Usually she stays a lot in a wheelchair, and so this is another chair that she will be comfortable in, and so she can relax with her family. And we've actually made it large enough that we think that someone could sit there with her.
Fundal has been growing, and now that we have more training in adaptive design and a specific person who is in charge of the workshop.
Mi nombre es Berta Recinos y estoy de coordinadora del taller de diseños adaptados.
Mi nombre es Paola González, soy terapeuta física y ocupacional y estoy encargada del área de fisioterapia y terapia ocupacional de la sede de Fundal Guatemala.
I think a week with a person who really knows how to do it and how to share it with someone else is enough to start. It really helped the students to achieve goals in positioning, communication, and train the parents to learn new ways to communicate with their children. And also to demonstrate that you can solve problems in a practical way.
We're gonna have 2 points of attachment. One is gonna be the harness onto the dad. People at Fundal made this preliminary insert that is gonna go onto the motorbike, but it's gonna at least just to help her keeping her hips in place and also support for her legs.
One of the most important things that we need and that we have received is training.
This afternoon we're going to do a workshop about adaptive switches and also about small basic circuits. You can build all kinds of switches for kids who maybe don't have a lot of motor control or fine motor control or need to use a head switch or a switch with their foot, and we can make those really inexpensively. Learning some fine motor skills like pinching to practice manipulating his hand, and so this was an exercise that she thought would really help reinforce that therapy goal. A perfect example of how a really simple circuit could make a kid smile.
A ver, ahora con esta.
Eso arriba de la cabeza. Miren, le está hablando el muchacho. Ah, bueno, sí. Pero puede que le
I always look for like asking everybody for suggestions, to the teachers, to the therapists, to the parents, to whomever is going to take care of them. Dad mentioned that he has a friend who's a metal worker. He's going to put a ring in the back that's going to stabilize the belt much more.
Disability, it's a belief in a limitation and a lack of adaptation. As long as we just start to break all those barriers, who will have disability if everyone can participate at the same level?
You know, really a small grant and a lot of heart can go a really long way. And dedicated people with an interest to make a change in kids' lives. Really, Fundal is an amazing example, and now, you know, with what they know, they could start adaptive design centers in other places and be a hub of education. Really, it's about the teaching of these techniques with a couple of tools that can be passed from person to person and spread throughout the world. We think of adaptive design first and foremost as a school, really, that we're there to support. If people want to build on this idea and spread these techniques, we would love it if everyone wanted to be an adaptive designer.
I think everything starts with one person. And I'm sure this is the first adaptive design place in Guatemala, but shouldn't be the only one. As long as we can share what we learn, our knowledge, our experience, etc. If we create more in other institutions, I'm sure we can help each other out. So it will be great to share this project and to help other institutions to create their own workshops.
All the love that it's involved, like you can feel it around the foundation. It's amazing. I'm so grateful for being part of all this world. It's been open. It has opened my mind a lot, and realizing how much I'll be able to help here in the United States, in New York, in Colombia, anywhere, I already know. It's hard to imagine a better job than this one for me. It's amazing.
If anyone is interested in starting an adaptive design center in another part of the world, we are extremely interested in making sure that these ideas don't stop with us in the shop in New York. So really, we'd love to see them travel far and wide.
We are going to transform lives.